Coffee with Ro.
Hi guys, welcome back to Coffee with Ro,
Ro.
and we're your hosts, Ro
And Jer.
and hello.
Hi guys. We're back. I love
And we're
saying
back.
that.
We're doing what? Consistency.
That's why I'm glad to say that we're back because if y'all see in the video, somebody need to make like a confirmation. I'm always like, we're back, y'all, because I be so happy when we come back, like genuinely.
Literally, someone makes us a compilation of that, of
Yes.
us saying like, we're back,
We're
and then
back.
send it to us. Send it to our Gmail or
Please
DM
do.
us
Instagram,
on
something.
Instagram. You know, you should have all our platforms if you're one of
Yeah.
our supporters.
We'll get there.
Really on social media.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Speaking of social media,
Oh,
have y'all been looking at social
I
media?
don't think so. Let's tell
I've
them.
I've been looking and been seeing videos on social media, especially about like the Gen Zers,
Uh-oh.
and they've been slandering Gen Z workers.
Uh-oh. I have been seeing that, and I cannot wait to get into our topic. So if you guys did not know, our topic would be about Gen Zers. I feel like we made that up. It's
Yes,
okay.
we did. Add that to the road
Add
dictionary.
that to the roll list. But the Gen Z, so Generation Z, how they are in the workplace. So if you do not know, this is funny part to me. But if you did not know, Gen Z is ages from they were born in the year of 1997 to 2012. Me and Ro,
I don't claim the 2012.
We consider 2010.
Yes, we listen. No hate to y'all.
No.
But first of all, if I want to be technical for myself, I really just they go up to 2008. Anything after 2008, we want to be honest.
Y'all know.
Cause I'm being honest. You want to know something? Like you're a teacher, right?
Right.
So when I like get with kids and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was born in 2010, 2011." I'm like, "I was born in 2002." What? And you're a Gen Z? What?
I teach 7th and 8th graders, and when I told them that I was born in 2002, they was like, "You're an old man." Like literally. And I was just like, I'm an old man? Like that's insane work to me. And so it's just like,
It's insane. They called you an old hag.
they called me an old hag. Did you hear what they called me?
Did you hear what they called?
Like,
It's speaking of calling, and speaking of like the age groups, I guess,
Yeah.
because isn't like millennials? They're I think for like 1987 to like 1996.
yeah.
So with that millennial age group and like the Gen Z age group, and since you said our topic today, we're going to be talking about Gen Zers in a workplace.
Yes, we will.
I've had experience with working with both millennials and people that are in the Gen Z generation.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell y'all, it is hard. It is hard. Because you know what's crazy? I feel like millennials, some millennials want to be Gen Zers. Let's be honest. And I feel like my experience working with millennials, they work a little harder than the Gen Z generation. I'm not calling. We are Gen Z. We're Gen Zers.
We are.
We're Gen Zers.
So we're talking about our people, but
right, our peers, not
our
us,
peers,
because we
right.
work hard.
Right.
But no, like
True.
I feel like with working like with millennials, they do have a better work ethic when it comes to certain things. But also, I feel like with working, also me myself being a Gen Zer and working with like people that are Gen Z, we just don't tolerate everything. So
we do not tolerate a lot of stuff, and that literally goes into what I'm about to talk about. I work so let me tell y'all something. Y'all know I graduated just in May 2025.
Period.
So before I was working as a teacher in my field, I worked at the lovely Jewel Osco, and I think Jewel is like nationwide. I don't know.
Nationwide is on your side.
No,
I thought it was an Illinois thing.
Mm.
Or maybe Jules is. I have never answer that question. Have y'all seen Jules other
than like Illinois? Maybe like I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
So I worked at Jewel. And when you're saying like we don't tolerate a lot of things, I really agree with that. And I feel like people that's not Gen Z, like before us, they are really used to or grew up with the idea of like my boss or like supervisor or something has to like they go like if they say something to me in a rude way, if they're being rude, if they're being disrespectful, I just have to take it. And I just think that with Gen Z, like it's like no, like we're like it's not that.
Yeah.
And it's really because when I worked at Jewel, our communication styles were different. So meaning that my boss, he was like, of course he probably with the boomers. Let me not talk. But like he's like talking to us like calling us stupid. He like, are you guys stupid? Like you can't do this, you can't do that. Like talking to us, the staff.
Stupid.
And y'all know what I did? This was my first day. I looked around and I walked out of like the free, like I don't want to say the freezer, but it was like in
the back room.
It was the back room, and like I just walked out and continued to start like doing what I was doing because I'm like he can't be talking to me. First of all I just started,
Yeah.
and then it's like you just don't talk to your employees like that. It's like first of all this store would not be functioning if it wasn't for us, and so I just feel like it was just about like we like if he would have been like oh you're fired or I'm finna write you up, I would have been like, well, you're gonna have to do that. And that's why I say we're a little more different because some people would have stood there and took it, which it was people that still stood there and took it. But I feel like we were really big on like communication, like verbalize to me what I did wrong and don't be rude because you don't. If it was vice versa and I called him stupid, like you're a stupid manager, it would have been something different.
Yes. And I definitely agree with the communication styles with having a Gen Zer, that's that word, in the workplace from other generations. Just because now I've also worked at Joel. He laughing because listen. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna look in this camera.
Literally,
you ain't gonna talk to me crazy.
You can't. Like,
listen, unacceptable.
I'm
listen when Jim, you know this.
Girl.
I'm not y'all know I quit jobs. So listen, I tell people don't talk. That's my first interview when they're like, okay, like what is something you bring? I bring communication styles. I like for everyone to be respectful to one another.
Yes, I bring respect.
Respect, and it's sorry because I worked at Jewel. Now with my Jewel, that's when I say the experience of working with millennials.
Yeah.
So I was about to say her name. I can't even say it. It was this supervisor because I don't have a boss. It was this particular supervisor and my coworker. Now, mind you, the supervisor is probably about 35. My coworker 39. My coworker literally is asking the supervisor, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And then a girl, she looked at her. She said, "No." First of all, in a way, listen, and this is how I'm looking. Like I'm like, you're 39. Like. Bring her age into like throw shame because you have a job, but you're 39 years old. You can go to the back, like, and I remember like the supervisor would just talk to this girl crazy, like, you need to hurry up. What you doing? Like, and it's just like, this is a grown woman you're talking to. Now, she tried to pull that with me. We used to have to, did you have, your Jules, you have to call on the phone and get your schedule?
No.
We used to have to call on the phone and get our schedule if we were.
That boy used to be posted.
No, my Jules was lazy. I worked at a lazy Jules. I used to have to call to get my schedule. So one day I called, right, and the supervisor answered. She hung up the phone on me.
Now I have to come up here.
Literally, I'm telling y'all right now. Mind you, you can say I'm messy because I had my sister on my iPad. Like I had her on the phone call on iPad. Listen,
I needed to hear.
Yes. So Michelle, she's like, did she hang up the phone on you? I said, yeah. I'm like, maybe she did this by accident because I know I just.
Well, she's be nice.
Yeah, listen, but at first I'm like, I know I just asked her for the schedule and she hung up the phone on me. So I called back again. I called back, and this I'm talking about. This relates to the communication style of people. Some people not being good communicators. I called back again, right? She answered the phone. She said, "Hello." I said, "Yes, this is Rochelle calling. I'm asking like the schedule. I need to know what time I work on Monday." Previously, the reason I need to know what time I work on Monday, if y'all didn't know, I fell, I hurt my head really hard. I had a really bad like accident concussion. Mm-hmm. Like, so I had to plan a doctor's appointment. Yeah. So you're gonna have to come in on Sunday and see like the schedule I'm not telling you over the phone. And she hung up again. When I tell you, Jeremy, I called Kyra. I said, Kyra, I'm about to be on my way up there to this job immediately. Kyra was like, Rochelle, what's wrong? Because I'm like, I cursed her out. I don't care. Yeah. I said, don't you ever. Is she stupid?
Yeah. I hate, sometimes I hate being super aggressive.
This bringing me back into that moment of me wanting to choke her.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I have to put this disclaimer. Like, I really hate when people don't allow people to express how they feel and show anger. Look, let me tell y'all something. We're not saying that we are saying that a person should be going to cuss out their boss.
Yes, don't
and to
ever.
be doing things like that.
But they gonna follow you,
However,
maybe.
you are a grown adult, and if they won't respect, then they have to give that. So that
Yes.
means if your manager, and I know they sign your checks, I know y'all have bills that need to be paid. I know we all have a lifestyle, but it's a difference between being just straight up disrespectful, rude, and then me coming to communicate like, yeah, so you hung up that phone, and to me that was very
Twice.
Yeah, it's a difference. So it's like, yes, but let me tell you something about my friends and my homegirls. We know how to talk to you, also read you at the same time. Like, yeah, you should have never did that, but you cannot fire us over that. You
Yeah, because
cannot.
I will go to HR.
I would go to HR because I was like, all I was
Immediately.
doing was conversation.
Immediately, expeditiously, because like, and I think that's why you said like, oh, I showed her grace, because the first time I'm like, maybe that's a mistake. But as I continued to work there, and I seen her work ethic and how she communicates with people, even how she communicates with the customers, the rudest. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people like to say
get that.
us people that are from the Gen Z generation are rude. The millennials are rude.
And they are, and then it's like they put their. I feel like not all of them, like not all Gen
not
Zers
all.
are lazy and disrespectful, and not all the people that came before us, because I don't like millennials, all them, they're not rude either. Like it's just some that put all of us in a box. You see how we're like, yeah, it's not all Gen Zers, it's not all millennials or whatever. But I feel like some of them like put us in a box, and then some of them are like miserable. But we'll get there.
Yes. And I want to tell you said lazy. So that brings us to the next part of the discussion, what we're talking about. I feel like a lot of the times people like to label Gen Z as lazy, but the thing is, we're not lazy. We're not about to overwork ourselves and be underpaid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's do we see what economy we live in right now?
Inflation.
Inflation.
Like,
Inflation.
People don't understand that it costs so much to get a loaf of bread.
Literally.
It costs so much to get a loaf of bread. So it's like, so you're trying to first be rude to me, disrespect me, pay me less, and it's inflation.
Child, goodbye.
Who's gonna meet me halfway?
And then label you, like label, not you, but like label us, like our generation, as lazy, because and I hate when they say like, oh, well, back in my time, I worked this many days a week, I worked this many hours a week, and I worked hard. Yeah, you worked hard because your pay was kind of, decent. Yeah. Back in the day, a 1-bedroom apartment was about $400, $300. Now a 1-bedroom apartment is freaking $1,300.
And it's just crazy because that whole thing, it's all about trying to understand a newer generation.
Literally.
Like, we can sit here and talk about why, we can listen to R&B music. We can listen to old R&B love songs. I'm talking about Keith Sweat, Teddy Pendergrass. We can listen to all of these people that was before our generation. And we can see why our grandparents had 6 kids. Or we can see why, our people had better love in this time period, or why music was better. We can understand, but we're not me. I feel like Rose on my side with this one. She's better. But like, we are like, also like, they're not trying to understand us. Like, they're not trying to understand. Instead of saying like, well, back in my day, X, Y, and Z, instead say like, back then, like, we really, like, the government really wasn't shutting down. And, inflation really, come on now. It's all the time my grandmother tell me how much food costs. Stuff that now it's like can cost you $15 for just a meal. But
Literally.
Now back then it was like, $6 or $5. Can we talk about the Gen Z when we were younger? We got stuff that was, y'all remember Subway had $5 sandwich, $5 for long, any. Like, literally, like, you can get any sandwich for $5.
Literally.
When I go to Subway, I spend like $14.
Or like when I don't even eat meat. But when wings, like, cause
get the veggies.
Listen, I'm about to say, like, I don't eat meat because when Wingstop used to have like they 50-cent wings, now the wings are like, or I was just thinking about like a bag of chips. Chips, it used to be 2 for $1, or like the little bags used to be 25 cents. Now they're $1. Just like, on its own. Now they're like the chips are $1. And it's just like it's just like back then, like we used to have chips for like one for 25 cents, four for $1. Yes,
Let me
like
sit up. Y'all remember like 50-cent juices? Like
they don't even have that anymore.
they don't even have the 25-cent juices no more that you have to like
Really?
peel.
The Huggies?
Well, they have like Huggies, but I'm talking about
The Huggies are not 25 no more.
They're not.
No, they're 75
I just remember
cents.
because I over east over here, but like I grew up, and so when I grew up in these places, we had the corner stores. The corner stores was like,
Yes.
we love these corner stores, and it was just always the 50-cent juice. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know. And then it was the 25-cent, and it was like super tiny, and you like take the little twist,
Yes.
and it had a little top. They don't sell those no more.
They don't. And also like I want to bring it back to with the underpaid part as well. I feel like a lot of the times they tell like the new generation of the new Gen Zers like go get you a job at McDonald's, go get you this, but it's like when they get their job they're only making like $12, $13 an hour.
Yeah.
And I know like a lot of parents like to say, well, I'm only providing you the necessities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you gotta pay for whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And it's like it's hard for them because half of their checks
hard.
going to the government. It's going to taxes.
It's just super hard. And I'm not trying to talk about parents or any parenting. I'm just very grateful that I was blessed with a mother who really told her kids like not like y'all could just sit at home and not do nothing. But like, if y'all still need help, like I'm gonna help y'all out. And a lot they talk about us about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents and stuff, like helping. But hey, anyway. But all of that, I feel like I mentioned earlier about like people being miserable and all of this stuff. Like I feel like I don't want to say miserable because I feel like I'm being mean, but hey,
they're mean.
I feel like they really hate on Gen Z like work-life balance.
Yes.
Our work-life balance, I feel like they hate on it because yes, we like to go outside.
Yes. You know what's so funny? I'm gonna tell you how that's true. I had a supervisor, right? Now mind you, I requested 2 days off in a row. Mm-hmm. 2 days off in a row. Requested. They say, "Oh, you're going on a mini vacation. Why are you leaving?"
First of
all, it's not even a call off. It's a request. If I put in a request weeks in advance, don't put me on the schedule because I'm not coming to work because that is my work-life balance. But also with a work-life like balance, you don't have to tell a job why you put in requests. Yeah. You don't have to tell a job why you're calling off. Like I feel like jobs put that in place because they want to be nosy and see what you're doing.
They want to be nosy, or they want to know like she said she's sick today, but was she coughing yesterday? It came overnight. I woke up.
I'm sick.
Like literally. Like come on now, and they probably be on the other end like, boo, you whore. Like get out of here. I don't care. But it's like I'm still off, and it's just like. But here's I'm sorry, I was finna get into something, but I got a little question. What about when they want an off day? What about when the manager or the supervisor want an off day?
But you know what's so crazy? I worked in fast food. Every manager or a supervisor, whatever, or even when I worked at Jules, they would never put themselves on the weekend. Never put themselves on but I also was a manager. But I put myself on. I was on the weekend.
I feel like
was on the weekend.
If you got something to do, be like, I ain't gonna put nobody on my weekend.
But it's so crazy because I feel like a lot of like supervisors and managers, they don't want their team to have a work-life balance, but they can have a work-life balance.
They want to, and I'm so glad, and that was so perfectly said.
Yes.
Like, period, Ro.
Thank
and
you.
It's like I do feel like they hate on that because that we do sit there because like for example like when I was teaching in high school my birthday fell on a work day. Mm-hmm. And so y'all know we went to a happy hour because I needed to be in bed before 10.
Yes.
So we went to a happy hour and after I got off work, went home to change, shower, did all of that, and I left out and I went to this happy hour and I had a good time. I got tipsy. I had so much fun.
Yes.
And I went to work the next day. I went to work the next day, and then it's
He's a
not
strong soldier.
like no, seriously.
I was just telling you that. I'm like,
literally, we just
I literally
talked
was just
about
getting
that.
on him, and I was telling him like, working on your birthday is insane.
It's only because I looked at it as like, you know, I get off at like 3.
That's why. But I literally, I gave Jeremy a lecture. I say, listen, Jared, you never work on your birthday.
she did.
That is your day. That should be a national holiday to you. And that's
It
something.
is.
A lot of jobs won't even give you your birthday off, so you
Yeah.
can have like, it annoys me how jobs are so strict when it comes to, especially strict with Gen Z when it comes to us wanting to live our life. Why are you having a 15-year-old stay to 3:00 in the morning? Why are you not having the adults? Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
And when you saying that it's, I don't want it to sound like we want accommodations,
Yeah.
but we want,
I'm like,
because we don't want to come off as like
spoiled brats.
as
We're
spoiled
not.
brats.
We're
But
not.
like we have to think about things as well. This is something that gets me. Everyone looks. Y'all heard that pop? Everyone looks at us and judges us, and they say things like we're lazy or
Yes.
we always complaining. That's why I'm like, I don't want it to sound like we want accommodations. We just want to be understood.
Yes.
And we have to also things we have to think about too. Like, no one set up a foundation. So meaning that in certain parts, like in certain families, didn't no one have that generational wealth.
Yes.
Didn't no one have that. Didn't families was not setting up Gen Zers for work.
Yes.
For work ethics. Now, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. My mom did. I'm not trying to talk about people.
Too. I'm being
as y'all
honest.
can
My
say-
parents did too. I
Let
was
me
set
tell
up.
y'all.
Sorry.
With me, my friends, all of us, we got taught about, making sure that we are like being successful.
Your bills are paid.
Bills
Yes.
are paid, things like that. But this is just talking about me and my friends, like 6 other people.
Yeah.
But it's just like these families was not preparing people for their families for inflation or something like we're going into the future or we're going into something that might change.
Yes.
For how it might have been this when I was your age, but things might go up. Like we don't have that.
Yeah, and it's what's crazy. It's good that you brought up the word foundation and how like a lot of people, not people, but like a lot of the Gen Z generation didn't have the foundation because a lot of Gen Z weren't properly taught how to dress for a job interview.
Professionalism.
Professionalism. They weren't taught professionalism.
That's true.
They weren't taught about when you get your paycheck, how to fill out your W-2, like how to fill out forms and things of that sort. So it's just a lot of the times it's not Gen Z being lazy, it's because they didn't have a strict foundation And then I also feel like a lot of Gen Z members are trying to create generational wealth for their own for generations to come. So when you're the first to start and do something, of course it's trial and error.
Yeah. And then it's like it comes with when you say trials and errors, it comes with that idea of like, I'm like let's think about what we've been talking about this whole time.
Overworked,
underpaid, rude boss, all of this
lack
stuff.
of work-life balance.
Lack of work-life balance, all of this stuff. And then it's like in my family, some certain people's families didn't even have a foundation for me. It's not even teaching me something. I have to learn this stuff on my own. And they're doing it. And I'm proud. And if you are out there and you're doing things on your own, shout out to you. If you don't have, because a lot of people do not have support systems, shout out to you and take your time because you're doing this by yourself. But like I'm saying, they didn't have this. And then something big that people are forgetting.
What?
Mental health.
That is true.
With the Gen Zers. Now, mental health was in and it's still going, but each generation had to deal with mental health.
Yeah.
A lot. So that's I don't want to say. However, you can look this up on the internet. And I'm a teacher.
So he know the facts.
And I do know the facts. There's a lot of kids now, a lot of people now who has really bad mental health.
Yeah.
And I don't think jobs cater to mental health.
They don't. And I was going to say, when you said that, I'm just like, in previous generations, mental health always has existed.
Right.
Mental health wasn't acknowledged. So a lot of times in previous generations, they don't care like if someone come to work depressed, sad. Like they're not asking that. You know what I'm trying to say? They're not asking the why. They're not concerned about mental health. That's why you think like the school system has implemented a mental health day. Take a mental health day. Jobs don't implement that, and we're not
social emotional learning.
exactly. And it's like, and I want to do a disclaimer. We're not saying like we need to accommodate. Gen Z needs accommodation. We don't. But it's just like we're more. I feel like our generation is more understanding and we're more socially aware when it comes. So with us bringing that new social awareness to the workforce, a lot of the older generation, they're not able to comprehend that because they don't know anything about that.
And they don't. And
facts. I'm sorry. I'm just like facts.
You ate that up. That's so true. And it's their job to learn though.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be transparent a little bit. Our black people, we love y'all to death. We love y'all to death because we're black.
Yes.
However, in our community, mental health is not taken as serious.
It needs to be taken serious.
And it needs to be taken very serious, very serious, because it's times where people cannot get out of bed. So meaning that if they can't get out of bed, I'm pretty sure that a work day would be like really hard.
Yeah.
However, like Rose said, we're not just the only ones saying this. Schools have implemented mental health days. I know parents
that
implement. Oh, sorry, y'all. These mental health days. So it's like, if my child needs a mental health day, because let's be honest, we all know if our child was like lying or like,
yes,
when
like who you got into it with at school? Why you want to?
Yeah, it's like literally. But it's like I think that's important to think about in all like workplaces, like all of this, like lack of foundation, mental health, Gen Z, like they should look at us more like teach that person.
Yeah.
Like at a jewel, if it's somebody at a jewel, like teach that person.
Yeah, teach
like
them.
That's not what you're supposed to do at work. Because maybe you don't know. Because one thing that I used to say, like when I used to be driving a car with my mom, and I would see somebody do something like whatever, a kid, I'm like, oh, and I get to just going off like, and she's like you don't even know if they knew if that was wrong. Like she would tell me like they probably don't even know. Their parents probably didn't even teach them that they're not supposed to do that, or like whatever, or you wasn't supposed to wear that to work or to church, whatever.
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say?
And it's a good thing you brought up teach, because I'm gonna say a counterclaim. I know we talked about like the stereotypes that they have for like us Gen Zers, and we stick up for ourselves. But I'm about to get on the Gen Zers. Now, the reason a lot of the earlier generations have this stereotype for the Gen Z generation when it comes in the workplace is because a lot of the times, a lot of y'all don't have positive attitudes when you come to work. A lot of y'all are lazy. Well, I'm not gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. A lot of y'all are lazy. It's horrible.
100%. Like, yeah, it's not.
It's not. If I say hi, how are you, and you just look at me, why are you here? Go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think that would be the main thing, and I know I'm going mostly into customer service and things like that, but I would think that would probably be the main thing about the Gen Zs, and I'm like, okay, I kind of slightly understand, because y'all heard us right now. We were saying we were sticking up for y'all.
We were
sticking up for y'all. However, we have to let y'all know too, because we real people gonna let you know like you did this wrong, but also you did this right. Yeah. So now it's just gonna go into like what I feel like what we feel like you guys do, and one of them is just those attitudes.
Horrible.
It is, and it's really it's really bad, and it's times where I have walked into places and like I had a great day. And I'm really big on energy. Like if you throw my energy off, I don't know, if it's something that's like, I don't know, if you throw my energy off with negativity, like it was going to be on my mind all day, and it's like I'm probably not going to come back to your establishment, and I'm really big on that.
Yeah.
Not coming back, and like I don't know if some of y'all might not care, but it's times I have walked into places and y'all have the worst attitudes. Like I'm talking about the
nasty
face. Now let me tell you something.
I can't say about the face because I have a resting face as well.
Would say, that's what I was gonna say.
I have a resting face.
A resting, BRTCH face. Some people like, oh, they're just not friendly. So why are you in customer service?
I was gonna say that. Why? Like, and that's why why are you? It can. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. So I have been in higher up positions, and one time I remember I had to pull one of the workers aside and be like, "Hey, are you okay today?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I'm like, "You don't seem fine because the way you're interacting with people is not up to our standard." And she, oh, well, this is just how I am. And I sent her
That's
home.
not okay.
She went home. Like, if that's just how you are, go home.
And that's not, and I hate when people say like, that's just me. Like, that's just me. And it's like, okay, one thing that we have to make sure that we are doing in the workplace is being like, we have to adapt. Like, we have to be adaptive.
Yes.
We have to be adaptive. And I feel like that's a trait and a skill, more of a skill that's really useful, that you can adapt because you like, okay, I can work here. I can work here, do a lot of experience. That's not okay to say. Like, to me, that's like,
That's just that's just how I. It's not okay to say, and it's just like a lot of the times. This is how I know a lot of y'all be lying when you're at the interview and lying on your job application.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people put, "Oh, I'm adaptable," especially if you want to work in customer service. I'm friendly, even if a customer make you mad, because sometimes your customer make you
customers gonna make you
But
mad.
it's like, don't let that customer affect your whole day. Like, and especially me as a customer, if I'm walking in and be like, "Hi, Jeremy, how are you?" And you just look at me like, and it's just like, let me go, because low-key, like you said, you're bringing down my mood. And it's like,
and I literally just, I just experienced this because, we talked about Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
And, I love this other grocery store. Now, I don't know if this is everywhere.
Where?
Aldi.
Yes. Aldi actually is everywhere.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
It was in Macomb.
Yes.
I love Aldi. I do. Like, I love Aldi, and I have to say it like that. I know y'all probably like, what the... But I'm like, Aldi. And I was just there on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Literally, the Sunday that just passed. Me and my brother was in there grocery shopping. And we was in line. Mind you, they irritate me with having that one line open. And this other lady, she was like... She just started yelling out, and she was Gen Z. She started yelling out like, "Oh, she like a lady was walking up to her counter, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm closed." And it's like, once again, I'm not saying that you're supposed to be open when it's time for you to get off. However, it's a certain way that you can say things. Because we just was talking about how we don't like our managers to talk to us like that. So don't talk to other people like that, or customers, especially customers. And she's like, in her face, and one thing for me is that I get that we all have our bad days, but I love a person to have a bad day and they're like, I just need a minute, I just need whatever. Mm-hmm. But I hate a person who stands there proudly and like, yeah, I'm just a negative Nancy. Like, I hate that. Like, I hate that so much. And she was standing there proudly, like, I'm closed.
I'm closed. I ruined your day.
And it's like, you have to say it like that.
Why couldn't you say like, "Excuse me, I'm so sorry, but I am closed"?
Look, you could have just been like, "Hey, I'm closed. Like, I'm so sorry. Hey, I'm closed." Like, you don't, like, I'm closed. I'm so sorry. Like,
she's ready to go home.
Like, and I get it.
I felt that though.
I get that. But what happened when you told that lady that? She turned around and was like, "Ooh," because you was too aggressive. You was irritated
and rude
for no reason. And it's like, how you irritating? You about to get off? No one was in your line. You had the close sign right there, so nobody else was jumping in your line. You literally could have just left. So even if people was getting in your line, I would have been looking at them like, "Oh, they must finna scan this up themselves," because I'm like, you have to make sure that you're talking to people right. And that's my really big thing with that.
Talking to people right, and like the communication. Like I said, I just demonstrated how she should have handled it. She should have been like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm closed, but this register over here is open." She could have just simply said that, or like, "Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm closed." But I'm like yelling, and I don't like people yelling at me.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm thinking.
And like that's
I know you're ready to go home.
I'm like, that's a confrontational. And like, if it was me, if I was a lady, I would have been like, "Ooh," it would have been an issue.
If that was me going to
I'm a little confrontational, y'all.
Like, so why are you still right here? Like, you're off, right? So go home. Like, why are you still here?
And that's how grocery store fights happen. And that's how it gets started. Because if I was the lady she was yelling, I'd be like, first of all, who are you talking like?
I wanted to say something. She wasn't even talking to me. Like, I'm just like,
we're gonna say something.
Oh, jeez.
Y'all, let's talk about some Gen Z customers. Me and Jeremy, this is a little bit off topic, but it relates to the topic.
No, it's gonna relate.
Me and Jeremy were in line. Mind you, I am vegan. So we went to 2 different Dunkin' Donuts. We went to one that had the meat and one that had the vegan alternatives. So while we're in line, the lady, she She was in front of us, right?
Yeah, she was
in front of us. So she went from in front of us into in front of another car. So when she got our car, and she talking to us, Jeremy, she ain't talking to us. She talking to the other car.
She's talking to the people.
Yeah, because I'm like, because we're like, Jeremy, like, no, we're about to, no, I'm like, hold on. She goes into the restaurant, gets the coffee, pours it on the counter, and like is cursing them out. And I'm like, you're not going to get blessed like this.
When I tell y'all, it was so nasty. She was so
she
nasty
was palm color.
She was so nasty. First of all, the workers were so nice.
They were.
She just literally was just having a bad day. Y'all, she went up in there and poured. So mind you, we're at the window at this point. So we see her like, and then she's like, and I'm like,
oh my God.
On the counter. Rochelle had to stop me from getting. I still am like not mad at Rochelle.
We got free food because of that though.
We did get free food. But and that's why, don't block your blessings.
Exactly.
But she did. She blocked. I'm sorry. I wanted to cuss that lady out so bad because that was so nasty and they didn't say nothing that it felt like it was a bullying thing. So I'm like, I'm a bully the bully. And that's what I'm going to do.
We went back. I went back. They said she's crazy. Well,
yep,
crazy.
You did
They said she's crazy. That's why, like, I want because when you were like, I'm like the people are not even doing that. This must be a normal lady that comes here and just acts the ass.
I'm asking her. I'm like, should
I'm grabbing because I'm grabbing
my hand on the.
And then it's not funny, but like as you, like, I'm like, don't go out the car. But I'm like, Jimmy got the car. I'm pulling my hair because I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight.
I wasn't going to touch the woman.
No, I know.
I was going to treat her.
No, but I'm like, if she says something back to Jimmy, I'm about to have to fight I'm about to have to fight this lady. Like, so I'm
homegirls on speed down.
Exactly. So as Jeremy get, I'm like, okay, you get out the car. Let me put myself together because I know if she says I'm out to fight her. Like it's just that's just how it has to go because you're not gonna touch no like Jeremy. He doesn't hit women. Like you're not gonna touch no woman. Like so. But we did get free food because we're asking work. I'm like, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, like they're like, it's fine. Like you can go. Then I came back, like, cause that's my I like to go to that Dunkin'. And I'm like, I asked them, they were like, she's a regular person that comes here. Something that's not right. Oh, I don't want to say something. She has a mental illness.
Ooh.
I just had to say that because some of y'all customers do be wild.
I do.
And we just.
And this is why I don't blame the Gen Zers for finding new job opportunities.
Yeah.
And that leads to the next point.
Yeah.
I feel like now people don't understand, and I really do love this for Gen Zers. They're new outlets of work.
It is.
So this is vlogging. This is being a streamer. Mm-hmm. This is music. It's a lot of Gen Zers because of bosses and managers and supervisors and all of this stuff that's happening, customers. Because of all of this, some people want to be their own boss. Yes. And I'm not against that.
I'm for that.
Like, people used to say, you got to have your own business and, your business got to grow. That's where you can be your own boss. You're your own boss if you're a streamer. You're your own boss. Like, you literally don't have to clock in. You literally don't have to do all of this. And I don't like where people get to talking about the new job opportunities, like streaming and music and vlogging and all of this stuff. One thing as a teacher that I tell my students all the time is I'm not going to push college onto you. Like, I'm not going to be like, you have to go to college to be successful. I want you to be successful in life with a plan.
Yes.
So I want you to have a plan in life.
I think that's very important to tell them to implement a plan. And then also, I feel like with the new job opportunities that are around vlogging, streaming, podcasting, music, I feel like a lot of the time people don't believe in it. Like a lot of like the older generation, they don't believe in it. They're like,
that's not no money.
You know how many people told me, mind you, my major is communication, media, and theater, and I double minor in broadcast journalism and performing. But you know how many people told me like, don't major in theater. Don't. You're not gonna make any money. You're not gonna be profitable. Like such like what I'm trying to say, like just hater stuff. Negativity, hater. And it's just like if you want to start vlogging, if you want to start streaming, if that's the job path and career path you want to go on, do that.
And then it's a job that they actually enjoy. And that'd be my whole thing. Like, yes, and I'm sorry, this is like I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
It's people that was born millennium before us that hate getting up to go to their job.
Exactly. You know what?
Miserable. The reason why these old people at Jewel is rude is because they've been working there since they were 15 or 20, and they're like 60 or 50.
And
So
they're
it's like,
miserable.
I'm not trying to talk about people's jobs, but it's like if people are looking at that, like looking at their moms or dads or aunties or cousins working jobs that they literally hate, they're like, well, man, I'm about to build up my following. I'm about to stream. And then it's like now social media is a big thing now.
Yeah.
So it's like, why you think people be on social media when somebody record, say if it's like a racist encounter?
Yeah.
They be like, so people find this person. I go in the comment, they be like, yeah, this is Todd. He works at this place. People find, like, internet is, so if the person can get found, a person, mind you, I'm sorry, this might be funny, but Justin Bieber got discovered on YouTube. So it's like, let's be honest.
So many LMA. So many people got discovered and are successful based off doing streaming and like videos and vlogging and things of that sort.
Mind you, I'm not gonna tell y'all the name, but I used to be a YouTuber when I was younger.
I remember. Oh no, I've seen some videos. I might sneak it to y'all. I might sneak it to y'all.
And I really was like, I'm going to like go somewhere with this. Mm-hmm. And I believed in myself and I enjoyed what I was doing. And no, I was not making money from it. And no, that's not what I'm doing as my job career, but it was something that I love to do. So imagine if someone is super passionate about music. Y'all know Dev. Dev has been here multiple times, have released music, has done things like when she was performing outside, has performed with other artists, up and coming artists. So it's just like, it's a stepping stool.
Like literally. And I think of like with Dev, Anissa, I also think of like Alicia, like her building her, like our friend Alicia, she's building her like her social media content creation, upcoming makeup artist, Glam Junction. Make sure y'all follow her. Literally, but like building right that. Now. Follow her right now. We gonna put her stuff right here. Follow my right now. Period. But what I was gonna say with like that brings us to like how you kind of touched on it already. Like our next like into like the topic of like how people are not even majoring, but like working in their passion and not a job that's like making like a month, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like a lot of people are going into what they're passionate about and not just working a job so they can gain money.
I feel like,
and that's important because that's what I think.
Super important.
Yes, that's what I think. Because all the job, I'm gonna be so serious. So now, the recent job I'm working, I'm passionate about it. Like because I get so excited. I'm like, I get to work with kids. I'm doing it. Like I'm really passionate. Like about what I do. And I also feel like because it's not a structured 9 to 5. But like when I was working my other jobs, I wasn't passionate. I literally was working so I could get money. Like, and then when they used to
be like very upset.
I used to be my mental health was affected. I wasn't getting paid enough. So, like I have parents. Like, I don't need this job. My mom and daddy and my sister work to support me. Sorry. No, but you know what Rochelle say off Everybody Hate Chris? My man got 2 jobs. I don't need this. But that's how I felt like when I was working. For real, though. That's how I felt. So that's what I was saying. Like, it is important to go into the field that you're passionate about. Like you said, you never want to wake up. And that's my motto. I don't want to wake up one day and be like, I hate what I do for a living. I'm depressed. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. Like, it's just so negative because that affects everyone around you. Like, I used to complain about my job every day.
When I worked at Jewel, I'm talking about I cried every time I had to get up because I was not passionate about that. Yeah. I was not passionate about stocking dairy products. Like, I was not. Like,
you worked in the dairy department.
I worked in the dairy department. And I was good at it, but it was just like, I hate this. Like, I used to hate being at work. Like, I used to hate it. Like, I'm sorry, I used to hate it. And I lied to them and told them I got another job so I can do part-time because I'm like, I can't.
You don't want to.
I cannot. I'm like, I cannot do this. And I just used to love, like, I remember one day, y'all, this is how I knew I hated Jewel. It was one time I called them. I'm like, hey, like, they asked me, like, no, it was I wanted to call off. I woke up. Mind you, I'm like, I want to call off so bad, but I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, we're not call off.
We're not call off girlies. Hold
We're
on,
not call off
hold on,
girlies.
though. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to call off. Why? Shout out to my homegirl, Gabby. My homegirl, Robin. They text me. They were like, they said something about us going to we was going to Raging Waves, y'all. Mm-hmm. If you don't know where Raging Waves is, that's a water park. It's a very fun water park. I low-key forgot all about it, and I didn't call off from work. So literally I called in work like, yeah, I'm at the ER and I'm gonna have to come in late. And they were like, okay, like you could come in like from this time to this time. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, okay, when I leave here I could just go in.
Yeah.
BAP. That was literally BAP. And so literally I got done with like Raging Waves and like I'm exhausted. And then my friend like Rob, shout out, like she's like, we like trying to hurry like to get me back to like Chicago because Raging Waves is like a different part of Illinois.
Yeah.
I called them again like, I'm still in here, I'm not coming. And I would never do that like with like my teaching job and stuff like that. That's why it's like I said all of that to say like when you're not passionate, forcing yourself to be passionate is like painful. Like forcing yourself to like it's painful. That's why even the job that I'm currently working at, like the school that I'm currently working at, I almost left. You know, I had to pray, you know, talk to God, but I almost left because I started to wake up and be like,
I can't do this. This not for me. It be like that.
Yeah.
You know,
No. And I'm sorry, I'm literally like still stuck on it. Like, I'm like, I need y'all to find things that you're passionate about, and especially like people that's, you know, in college. If we got some Gen Zers in college, like whatever, like you really need to find your passion.
Definitely. And then also I was going to add to that, start early with finding your passion. Because sometimes your passion may change. And the reason I say start early, because you did say people be at jobs for 15 years miserable. So start early when you find your passion.
Yeah. So we've been talking about the Gen Zers.
The Gen Zers.
So it's someone who, what is like, they're like, after them, I think is the Gen Alpha.
Yeah, Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha. Oh, okay, y'all. Now with these generations, it'd be like,
Gen Alpha scares me.
Gen Alpha's like, oh, okay. But I have a question. I want to pose a question. So, what advice do you think, or what do you think? I'm gonna change it up. Mm-hmm. What do you think Gen Alpha would think about us? Like, what do you think they would say about, like, you see how we're talking about the millennials? Like, what do you think they would say?
I think Gen Alphas, they'll probably say similar things of communication style. Because I feel like a lot of us older Gen Zers, we were raised by or grew up with millennials, so we picked up on the way they communicate.
Definitely.
Also, I would say a lot of Gen Alpha would say that a lot of Gen Zers paved the way when it came to mental health in the workplace. Paved the way when it came to establishing boundaries between your supervisor and yourself. I don't like the word boss, but you know, I don't like the word boss because I don't think no one's our boss. But that like type of boundary. Because if you know, like, if you watch, like, TikToks and stuff, you see the relationship between, like, the Gen Z and their, like, boss that's either a millennial or a Generation X.
Right, and you be seeing things, like, where it be like, oh, my 40-year-old work bestie.
Yes, like,
and stuff like
I love older work besties.
I love older work besties. I do. When I worked at my last high school, it was amazing. Like, the two close people that I was with, like, were older. And, like, and they thought, like, they would always be surprised, like, a 23-year-old can, like, literally, like, be able to hold a conversation and stuff like that. That's why it is people out here before us that understand us, that wants to understand us, that knows that the world is only evolving.
Yes, it's evolving. And so what do you think they'll think of us?
I would think that it's so crazy. I think that they would think that we're sassy. I think they would think that we're sassy. Like, I think they would think that we're sassy, but sass is not a bad thing.
It could be a good sass. You can have a good sass, like,
sass. Like, some people need
about her
that
business.
Sass, you know. And I feel like they would say, I feel like they say things like, oh, they didn't let people walk all over them.
Yes.
That's what I mean by sass.
We stood on business.
They have, and maybe if I say like some flair to them, like maybe if I change it from sass to flair, like they would definitely say like, we had some spice thrown on us.
Yes, we're a little spicy.
We're a little spicy.
Stand on business, as King
Stand on
Harry
business.
says. Stand on business.
Because literally, my students, I teach 7th and 8th grade right now. They so they wrote me thank you cards.
Aw,
And
I
it
love
was
that.
so sweet. And one of them was like, yeah, like you clocked the T. And I'm like, yeah. I'm going like because I don't let them like play or get away with stuff. So
Or
I'm
run
like,
over you.
right, or run over me. So they're like, yeah, you're always clocking in T. And so I would feel like they would say that like about us too. Like, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think, of course, like we got some flaws.
Yeah, we're not perfect.
We're not perfect, and we're not trying to say we're the perfect generation or people are going to look at us as the perfect generation. But these are things that I feel like that they would say.
Okay.
What y'all think?
Yeah, answer the question below because I have a question. So, we talked about all of this.
Yes.
What advice would you give a Gen Zer coming up in the workforce?
First thing, and I feel like we stressed it. Passion. Make sure you're going into this job knowing that you're passionate about it. Now, once again, a person might be passionate about working at any customer service. Like it's some people who is taking my order at a food place and they have just the biggest smile or they got the best energy, and it's like you enjoy doing this. Like I see you enjoy interacting with people, and you do that, and I do too. I do enjoy interacting with people. But I would just say your passion. Like think about what you're passionate about, and then something now I would say is growth.
Yes.
Try to grow yourself. So meaning that all aspects. So grow yourself with being more adaptive. Growing yourself as your personality. So you might think that, okay, I shouldn't be like, I do this all the time. And yes, that's my face. But maybe I need to change it because it will make you feel better. Yeah. Like, honestly, like it's times where I have had bad experiences and I go inside another store and like them, like the workers, whatever, they made me like feel a little bit better. Like just them saying like, hey, or like, do you need help or anything? I don't know. That might sound really like, I hope
it makes sense.
Care.
No, I don't care.
Like I don't like. I hope it makes sense, but
it makes sense.
Saying like yes.
Make room to grow.
Make room to grow.
Mine is maintain your boundaries early on. And the reason I say that because once you enter the workforce, whether you get you a little part-time job or whatever, when jobs see they can wiggle their way in between your boundaries and start crossing them, they will continue to do that.
They will.
So maintain a boundaries. And you know what I'm trying to, whatever job you work, whatever you're doing, just because jobs will try to take advantage of you.
They will.
They will try to take it, especially if you're a good worker. They will try to overload you and still let the people that aren't that much of like good workers slack.
And that's why I told Jewel, like, hey, I got a second job, baby. I'm gone. I can't stay overnight.
Maintain that boundary. You say so. Maintain that boundary, and then also just do your best at whatever you do.
Yes.
And I feel like that relates to what you was like. Do your best whatever you do, just because your passion's not going to be working at McDonald's or Burger King. You know what I'm trying to say? But the skills that you get at that job, you can transferable. Like they're transferable to any other job that you get. Like
come on.
A lot of times I worked in customer service, and the skills that I got from customer service has transferred for me, like doing my new job and like talking to different partners and different people in different industries and stuff like that. So transferable skills. Make sure you keep them. Make sure you gain them.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And with we want to thank you all for watching. What are they watching? Coffee with Ro. We love you all.
You know we love you all so much. And as always, y'all know, like, comment, and subscribe.
You better subscribe. And when you're subscribing, remember, what road are we on?
We're road to
200. We want to get 200 subscribers by the end of this year. Help us. We love you. You love us.
Y'all know we love. We see each other.
We see each other, in the words of Miss Nene Leaks.
Literally.
Please. Well, not even please, because we ain't begging. But we know we would love to get to. We'll love to get to 200 subscribers. We love you all, and as always, be safe, stay healthy. Bye.
Bye.